The movie begins with something rushing through a barn toward a house. Soon after, we see a woman named Ramona watching a video of her late husband David, who lost his life in a car accident, and she has not been able to recover from the tragedy ever since. Her teenage son, Taylor, enters the room and draws back the curtains. He tells her that the power is out, unaware that his mother doesn't have enough money to pay the electricity bill. She asks him to let her wake up, indirectly telling him to leave. Ramona slowly gets out of bed, revealing that she walks with the help of crutches, as she too was injured in the car accident, but she had survived. She goes to her daughter, Annie's room, and finds her playing with her penguin toy. Meanwhile, Taylor steps outside to walk his dog, Charlie. He feeds the chickens in the coop and then gives Charlie his food after returning to the house. When he opens a drawer, he finds a matchbox with no matches inside. Disappointed, he goes up to the attic to look for something to light the stove. There, he opens a box that once belonged to his late father and finds a lighter inside. Among other items, he also discovers a cup. Downstairs, Ramona enters the kitchen and teaches Annie how to slice a loaf of cheese while Taylor prepares breakfast. Ramona notices the cup on the dining table and becomes upset. However, she brushes it off and enjoys breakfast with her children. Suddenly, Charlie vomits. Ramona asks Taylor what he fed the dog, and he replies that he gave Charlie human food since they've run out of dog food. She understands and tells Taylor to put Charlie outside and chain him. Taylor obeys. Afterward, Ramona notices the loan and mortgage letters on the kitchen counter. The sound of running water triggers a flashback of the car accident that took David's life. Taylor then returns and tells his mother that there's a woman standing in their front yard. Ramona and her children rush to the window, only to see a mysterious woman dressed entirely in black, sitting on a chair in front of their house. Outside, Charlie keeps barking at the mysterious lady, forcing Ramona to ask him to stop barking. She then asks Taylor to look after Annie until she comes back from outside. Ramona steps outside of her house and approaches the enigmatic lady. She asks her how she can be helpful to her, but the cryptic lady doesn't reply. She then comes closer to the woman while Taylor and Annie see her from inside the house. The mysterious lady softly asks her how she got there. Ramona replies she doesn't know but was going to ask her the same question. The veiled lady asks Ramona her name.
Ramona.
Despite being covered in black dress from top to bottom, the cryptic lady spots a ring on Ramona's finger. Ramona tries to scare her away by telling her that her husband is on his way back home, humbly asking the veiled lady to get off her property. Then, the lady begins talking in a strange way, implying that she knows everything about Ramona. The cryptic lady says to Ramona, "Today is the day. You called me and I came."
You called and I came.
Ramona becomes terrified upon hearing this and retreats. She notices that the woman has brutally killed her chickens. She then walks up to her shed and climbs into the Jeep to charge her phone, but the banged-up Jeep has no power to restart and charge Ramona's phone. Charlie doesn't stop barking at the woman sitting in the yard in the sun.
I'm going out there and I'm not going on.
Ramona returns home scared and tells her kids a completely different story, that the woman wants nothing and she is just a simple woman lost here. Ramona adds that the woman is a nurse and probably wandered off from the nursing home. While telling her fabricated story, she locks all the doors very carefully and tries to divert her children's attention by giving them ice cream. However, Taylor is still not convinced by her statement and curious to know the mysterious lady. He asks her to let him get his father's gun, but Ramona angrily refuses. Taylor defies it, infuriating his mother. Taylor goes into his room frustrated and sits on a chair, keeping a close eye on the woman through the window. Soon, he notices that the woman in their front yard strangely comes closer to their house, leaving them nervous. Ramona notices that the stitches on her leg are starting to come undone, but the very next moment, we realize she was only hallucinating. Later, she goes to check whether the woman has left or not. To her shock, the woman is still in the yard. Ramona unlocks the door to see where her dog, Charlie, has gone, since he hasn't barked in a while. She steps outside, only to find her dog missing from his kennel. All that's left is his chain. Taylor sees his mother behind the veil in his nightmare. He asks Ramona what happened, to which she replies nothing. However, Taylor spots the dirt on Ramona's shoes, realizing she went outside when he was asleep. He then begins playing with his ball, irritating Ramona. She softly asks him to stop it, and Taylor obeys. He then suggests that they should drive to a neighbor's house to use their phone and call the others home. Ramona clearly turns down the suggestion, saying that she can't drive. Then, Taylor insists that he can drive, but she tells him that he isn't old enough to drive a Jeep. Resented, Taylor begins playing with the ball again, getting under Ramona's skin. So Ramona grabs his ball and throws it out of the window. Later, she apologizes to her children, who are merely dependent on her. While holding Annie in her lap, she hallucinates, stabbing her in the back. Taylor sees the woman closing in on his house, so he takes an iron bar, keys, and comes out without informing Ramona. He looks for his dog but doesn't find him anywhere. Then he rushes to the shed, gets into the Jeep in a rush, and tries to start it, unaware that the Jeep is already banged up and can't be fixed. Afterward, this happens. Ramona becomes furious with Taylor for getting out of the house without her knowledge. Taylor also gets into a heated argument with her for holding back the truth from him. Like she already knew that the Jeep didn't work and Charlie was missing. He then forces her to tell him who the mysterious lady out there is. At this, Ramona explains to her kids that she is just trying to protect them. Despite this, Taylor calls her crazy, causing Ramona to fling a basket at him in anger. Taylor loses his cool and rushes into his father's room. There, he takes up David's gun and goes to blow the woman's head off after locking her mother inside a room. He warns the woman that she has 10 seconds to get off his property or he will shoot her.
You got 10 seconds to get off my property before I start 8.
The stalwart lady gets up from the chair and approaches Taylor. She then takes off her veil, revealing her face for the first time. Inside the house, Ramona pleads with Annie to unlock the door. Outside, the woman reveals to Taylor that his mother, Ramona, has been lying to him about everything. That night when you lost your father, your mother told it all backwards. Meanwhile, the little Annie frees her mother. Taylor gets back home, confronting Ramona over the accident. He forces his mother to tell him what actually happened that night. Finding no other choice, Ramona reveals that she and David were having a beautiful dinner that night. David knew something was wrong in my mind, so I told him the truth. I argued with him over not staying in this home, but he wasn't willing to make another shift. So I decided to move on, resolving to leave David and her kids. That night, I drove the car and David was sitting next to me. On the way back home, Ramona saw the same woman in the rearview mirror, and this led to a fatal accident, resulting in David's death. Taylor is broken inside upon realizing that his mother told him a lie all along about the car accident. Meanwhile, the woman locks Annie inside a room and terrifies her.
It's her. Gotta get somewhere, guys. Hurry, come on.
Terrified, Ramona and her children escape into the attic to avoid the woman. Taylor covers the window, preventing the sunlight from entering the attic. The darkness takes over the house and the sinister woman tries to break into the attic. Not long after, the woman appears in the attic, striking terror into the hearts of Ramona and her children. The deformed-faced woman approaches Annie, telling her that she has come to take her home while Ramona's shadow desperately thrashes in the air. The woman assures Annie she wouldn't hurt her. She then embraces her and leads her away. Moments later, Ramona returns to find the flashlight flashing rapidly downstairs. She and Taylor descend into the room following the blinking light. By following Annie's voice, Ramona enters a door which leads her to her own house and finds her husband David, lying in bed. David tells her that the house was finally finished, the decorating was done, and the yard was covered with those flowers she loved. Ramona lies next to him in bed, momentarily forgetting her true purpose. She soon realizes it and discovers that everything is right side backwards. Suddenly, she is attacked by David and finds herself behind the veil, sitting in the yard in front of her own house, while the old Ramona calls out to ask if she needs any help. From this perspective, we assume that everything has been happening inside Ramona's mind and that there is no such woman in the yard. She has never recovered from David's death.
Today's the day.
In the present, Ramona stands in the corner of the attic and walks toward her daughter, repeating the same words that the woman once said to Annie while approaching her. The frightened Taylor sees his mother's shadow in the woman, revealing that the woman is none other than Ramona herself. Ramona tells Taylor to take his sister downstairs and hand her the gun. Taylor obeys, going downstairs with Annie. Moments later, the woman arrives, telling Ramona she has come to help her. Ramona explains that her children need her, but the woman replies that they have needed their mother for weeks. The woman reveals that she exists only in the corners of Ramona's mind, indirectly urging her to end her own life. Ramona then asks what will become of her children if she dies. The woman drops a bombshell on her by showing pictures of Annie and Taylor, revealing that they have grown up a long time ago and that Annie is even married. Ramona feels shattered inside, realizing she has been stuck in the past all along. She asks the woman for some time to say a final goodbye to her children, Annie and Taylor. The woman agrees. Ramona rushes downstairs and urges her children to go to their neighbor's farm. Taylor and Annie reluctantly leave. Afterward, Ramona goes back inside, sits on a chair, and holds her husband's gun. Soon, the woman arrives and helps her attempt to end her life. However, Ramona doesn't seem truly willing to do it. Eventually, the woman merges into Ramona, revealing that she is none other than Ramona's fear, an embodiment of the darkness within her mind. Moments later, Taylor and Annie return home to find Ramona still alive. She comes out and embraces them, telling her children that she has changed the scary parts and that the woman will never come back. But if she does, they'll be ready for her. After that, they move to the house David built for his family. In the final scene, we see that Charlie is also alive and enters the house with his family, closing the movie with this haunting cliffhanger.